Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the PHNX Rising post-game show brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's #1 sportsbook app. I'm Ramon Chavez, joined by my partner, Owen Evans. How you doing, sir?
Well, they just won. I don't know what to feel.
You should be bouncing up and down right now.
What's going on? They won a game. They won a game.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Wonderful night here at Wild Horse Pass. A rainy night, actually. You were drenched when I got here.
Pretty drenched, yeah. It's... You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it. You know what? Fun bit of correlation here. Did you know that the last time PHNX Rising won a game, it was pretty rainy up in Hartford?
Ooh, look at that. So we need rain.
Stop praying for rain in these games.
We also need Jake to come to the games more often, apparently. Jake Anderson.
I'm sure we'll rope him in later. Don't worry. Not yet. He's glaring at us.
He's over there. He's
glaring at us. He does have the tie.
Mm-hmm.
We'll perhaps get rope him in later.
Great game tonight. Obviously, a W by Rising. I can't be more excited, even though I'm not sounding or looking like it. But wonderful game tonight. Rising got on the board quickly. They took control of the game, pinned Colorado back. They literally could not do anything. Haji Berry was not able to do his usual stuff. So great game for Rising. 4 goals. Richie Antwi got the 4th one at the end of the game there. So Owen, quick reaction. How are you feeling? You know, it's a long time since that win, especially at home. It's almost 3 months. If you really think about it, May 7th, I think, was the last time they won at home. May 28th, the last time they won at all. So what's going on through your mind right now?
It's a win. I don't know. It's
3 points. 3 points.
3 points is 3 points. Look, it has been a long time coming. It feels as though the move to bring in a new striker definitely has paid off. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's one game. We probably shouldn't jump to conclusions. What we saw today was good. Very, very good. And the impact that he could have on this team going forward is pretty big. If he can keep playing like he played today, I'm excited to see it because, of course, Rising's defense kind of managed to, kind of shut things down over the past few games. Mm-hmm. They really solidified in defense. They just couldn't get anything going attacking-wise. Then you've now added a new number 9 in who gave us some real flashes of brilliance today. A few things still to work on. And I'm sure those are things that will be ironed out over the coming weeks, but some real positives to take from his performance and the performance as a whole.
Yeah, no, everybody played really well, especially up top. I thought Babu had an amazing game. He was really dangerous on the left wing over there. Aiden Quinn, gets the Olympical goal to get things going. We were down there when that happened. I couldn't believe it, but the ball just kept curving in and eventually hit the back of the net. Joe Farrell was great. He got on the board as well. Just a great team performance overall. And it's amazing how having a striker that's, able to hold up play, able to, have a great work rate defensively can open up these lanes and spaces for the rest of the team. Yeah,
it was. And one thing I think to note in there was the set pieces today were fantastic.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I asked Aiden about that after the game, and he was like, look, they've been close in recent weeks, but they just haven't been quite getting there. But today, he was doing everything right. It felt like the players on the other side of it were doing everything right. And, we need to talk about that Olympico. Let's start with that, yeah?
Yeah.
We start with the Olympico. So I asked Rick and we asked Aiden, was that deliberate? Here's what they had to say. When they look at those set pieces, what they're looking to do typically, if they can get that in-swinger to ultimately be on target, it's good in 2 ways. Number 1 is you get a little flick, you can turn it in with relative ease.
Yep.
Number 2 is if no one else gets it, then it just goes straight in, as it did today. So that's what they aim for. They do apparently aim for that. So apparently, yes, we do have to give credit for him. It wasn't a fluke. It is something that they tried.
You saw the emotion when he scored that goal. He just sprinted down the line to celebrate. And I think it was just a big weight off their shoulders of not only Quinn, but the entire team, because like we were saying, they have the shots. You could see it on the stats again tonight, the most shots that they had out of the 2 teams. But you could just see the emotion. And after that, things just seemed to click with the team. The midfield was able to connect. Those counterattacks that we were waiting for those to open up and happen, they took place. So it's one of those things where it's like it just took that. It just took an Olympical goal to get the team going, but it was wonderful. It was great to see.
Well, the comment that Rick told us after the game about that celebration is that when Aiden ran over, it was pretty much just a straight up to Rick and like, we've got your back, coach. So that was the message there. Of course, not everyone joined in that, but it's let's positive today. Yeah.
Positive, Owen, please.
Positive. We're going to be positive. Yeah, it really kickstarted them. I feel as though before that, Rising had a couple of opportunities. One where it looked as though to a lot of people who were watching, they thought that it crossed the line. It didn't. Well, it wasn't ruled to have crossed the line. So I'm getting some weird looks there.
You got a glare over here. I felt it. That's why I turned.
It was not ruled to have crossed the line. A lot of people seem to think that it did. I don't have a definitive angle or look on it to tell you either way.
Yeah.
But Rising could have gone in the lead early there. I do feel that on that one, the assistant referee, Alicia Messer over there, was just a little bit slow on the off for that one. A little bit flat-footed. Probably should have worked it out a little bit more because it was not the first long shot that was taken, especially in these kind of circumstances. You kind of have to. Yeah. Keepers can spill those balls, you know?
But it looked like they were trying to do that in the first minutes of the game. They saw that the Colorado goalie was not maybe as comfortable as, you know, he should have been, you know, playing with those balls, especially with the weather out here. And, you know, Joe Farrell just gave it a crack. And to be honest, it looked like it went in, especially from my point of view since I was down there. But ultimately it wasn't called. Let's talk about the second goal. JJ Williams.
What a finish.
Yeah.
What
incredible.
A finish. It was just, it was a perfect finish in terms of just picking out that corner beyond the reach of the goalkeeper. And that's just a really big, hopefully a sign of things to come. Because look, if you can finish like that, and there were multiple other times where it felt like he was being pretty creative, pretty important in the build up there. He had a fantastic game, I think. You know, we might as well, should we introduce him? Yeah,
our DraftKings king of the game, JJ Williams, took less than 25 minutes to get on the board with Rising tonight. Great stats. 82 minutes played, 1 goal, 31 touches, 10 out of 15 with his passing, 67%. But I don't think those numbers really tell the whole story about how much, you know, he was doing as far as defensively up top. You know, he's a big guy. He's what, 6'4"? You know, when we see him up and close, he almost ran into me over there on the sideline. But he's a big guy. He's able to hold up play. You know, when the balls are up in the air, he's able to get to those, or at least kind of, you know, either nick the ball a little bit to a teammate. And it's, you know, it's literally what Rising were waiting from their strikers, and they got one now. So it opened up things up for them.
Yeah, and look, there were moments where I kind of alluded to this earlier, whereby there was like a little turn, and he's going to play the ball, and you just feel as though maybe there's a little bit there that's just he's looking for a teammate that he used to have, or, you know, he's waiting on someone else. He's expecting to be there, and they're not. That chemistry will come. That can take a few games. You do have to be patient with that, to be fair. It doesn't come immediately, but he'll get there after a few games. He will learn his teammates better. He said, look, it's been a great, you know, we spoke to him after the game. He said that it's been a great kind of introduction to the team. These last couple of training sessions he's had have been some of the most productive that he's ever had.
Wow.
And as a whole, you know, for a guy who got here on Wednesday, flew into Arizona on Wednesday, and said he was taken completely by surprise that they traded for him here. He's settled in well. He really likes the guys who are here, and he feels quite comfortable here and quite confident going forward.
Yeah. And I do want to shout out Scott Mitchell here. Thank you for the super chat. PHNX guys get to cover a win, as I've always said. Win or lose, best coverage in USL. Thank you so much, Scott. Really appreciate it.
Rumor has it that tonight Ramon's going to be posting his video of him doing tequila shots.
For the win and for other reasons.
Yes. He'll post a video of that one. It's happening.
I forgot who did it. I forgot who tweeted at me and told me about the tequila. But yes, I'll do it for you guys. Let's take a quick look at the chat here. JJ is the type of 9 we need, not a Repetto or Hurst. Feel bad for Santi. Please, soccer gods, be nice to this guy. JJ's touch was really good. JJ was great. You know, he fit seamlessly into that front line, and that's what we talked about yesterday, that I was expecting him to start right away or get some minutes right away. And it looked like he had been playing with the team for quite some time now. He was able to get into those spaces, control the ball, connect with the trailers. So it was good to see. And it was great to have the fans stick it out with this weather and get to see these guys perform the way that they did. 4 goals, 0-0 against Colorado team that's been really great this season, and they got to see it here tonight at Wild Horse Pass. So I'm really happy that got to happen.
You know what? Now we've just finished that talk on the DraftKings King of the Game. I'd like to give an honorable mention for DraftKings King of the Game as well.
Yes.
If the performance had not been as good as it was, we'd have probably been able to give it to him. Shout out to Jacek in the South End, one of the kids over there making his drumming debut.
Ooh, look at that. Shout out to
like
him.
Seeing the kids getting started young, eh?
Yeah, start them young. Yeah. All right, y'all, let's take a quick break and talk about our friends at OGs. If you guys haven't yet, make sure to go to ogsbrands.com. check them out right there. They got a brand new flavor, which is their first ever limited edition seasonal flavor, which is pina colada, a perfect pineapple and coconut blend. And again, you guys can purchase that product on ogsbrands.com and on Instagram at ogsbrands if you haven't followed them there. And also, if you are like me, you like to purchase stuff in person, not online, because sometimes you don't know what's going on there half the time. Just kidding. You can also find their products at your local dispensary. And just a quick reminder, you must be 21 years or older to purchase. Again, check them out at OG's and their website, ogsbrands.com. All right, Owen, should we take a look at the numbers really quickly before we continue?
Take a look at the numbers.
Behind the numbers. Yeah, great stuff tonight. Obviously, 4 goals for Rising, 0 for Colorado. 62% possession for Colorado, 38 for Rising. Not unusual numbers, 17 shots for Colorado, 27 for Rising total shots. And then shots on target, 12 for Rising and 3 for Colorado. That's the key number right there. They were able to contain Colorado, not let them get on those counters. And like I said, the defense did a wonderful job tonight, shutting down these guys that, like I said, we mentioned yesterday, 3 of the guys that they played tonight are in the top 15 in the league as far as scoring. That's not an easy task to do. Shut them down. Another shutout for Ben Lunn in that defense. And so shout out to them.
Mm-hmm. They did really well, to be fair, in the second half and just being compact in the defense. There were a lot of chances there, but they weren't necessarily good chances with Colorado. Once or twice you saw Ben being forced into a save, but it was not very frequent, and it wasn't, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 of them that were actually good saves. Didn't feel as though he was really challenged that much. As a whole, look, it's just, today was a day where it felt like it wasn't necessarily a rising our back per se.
Mm-hmm.
I feel as though what we saw there, especially just even looking at the percentage, because I mean, look, 58% possession feels low. As Phoenix Rising won 12 saves in there, it does feel low. But when you win 4-0, do you care?
That's around their usual.
No, it isn't. Well, maybe this season.
40%. Yeah, that's what I mean.
But not like historically.
Yeah.
When we're talking about rising back, we're not talking about a 38% possession game, at least not over the long run.
Mm-hmm.
But defensively, they did well. They allowed, as BJ's saying here, they did allow Colorado to have more possession, which again, I guess when you take a heavy lead like they did, you do settle back a bit, and you're more interested then in keeping the clean sheet maybe than feeling the need to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, yeah, hey, it's
great stuff.
A good game overall.
Let's look at some comments here. We do need more, but we've shored up defense. Mid seems solid. This is from PH Rising 112. Mid seems solid now, and we're hitting back of the net. I assume that's what he's saying. Darnell and Joey C did well. Deserve some credit. I like those two. I like those two as the fullbacks for Rising, allowing Babu to move up. So I do appreciate that. It's great to see. King was excellent. Joey, like we talked about how we prefer Joey more maybe in a defensive role. And he showed it tonight. Great performances back to back from Joey Calistri. Scott here says JJ was excellent, but if he is king of the game, then Quinn is king region with the goal and 2 assists, which is true. Quinn had an excellent game.
Mm-hmm.
Highest rated player that I have here. So yeah, he great stuff today. I think the pass game, I think he was a little bit off with his passing, and he showed it tonight. He shored that up and was able to take advantage.
I think one thing to note on there as to how we decided that one. I feel as though if you went solely on what they did tonight, I'd probably agree. I'd probably give it to Aiden. Mm-hmm. But I think the achievement of coming in a couple of days after arriving in this city and putting in the performance that he did, that's why it has to be JJ for me.
Yeah. Like I said, less than 25 minutes for him to get on the board. The type of goal that he did not have a lot of space, quick cut back and low and into the corner when he shot that ball into goal. So great stuff. I was really impressed. So good to see. We also got to see the return of Arturo Rodriguez tonight. I felt like in the minutes that he was in there, he was wonderful. He did great tonight.
Yeah, he did wonderfully in the ear of the referee when he picked himself a yellow card because he just would not give that one up.
Yellow, yep, I saw that.
He would not give that one up. I was down there. I had Jake alongside me, and we were just chatting. And Arturo, like, oh no, he's going to get himself a card. He's going to get himself a card. He's been on the pitch for 5 minutes. First time he's been on there for 2 months, and he picks up a card for dissent. Hey, it's Arturo. He's back. But yeah, there were moments where I don't think he's quite full pace.
Yeah.
But there were moments where you just saw that little run, that little
bit
of danger, a bit of spark that he gave them. And yes, you can do that in 10 minutes at the end of the game. It's a lot easier than trying to play a full 90. But
the Antwi goal started with him getting by his defender, giving that pass to Greg Hurst, and Hurst crossing it over to the box to Antwi. So you saw how much of a difference he can make, even in less than 10 minutes that he was on the pitch.
And can we shout out in that one Antwi as well?
Yeah.
Shout out Richie, because look, this is a guy who I feel like we've said it for a while. We like him off the bench. We think that his role he can play off the bench coming on for 10 minutes and the energy he can bring and really put in there and the strike that he's got make him a good option off the bench as a centre forward. The fact that now there is a good, true starting number 9 that does a lot of things that, he's got more of the physicality, more of the presence over a larger area. It allows Richie to become that guy. And I think that's nothing but a positive for this team.
Yeah, no, I agree. We talked about yellow cards with Arturo. I think Farrell got another yellow card, which would make it his 8th. Just want to confirm that. But if it is his 8th, then he'll
likely miss the next game. Yep. Yes. I don't think he'll have had enough games without a yellow for the good behavior incentive. But yeah. So we'll see what happens there. Moving on to next game. Do you see this lineup continuing given the way that they played tonight? No Koze, obviously, because he got that red card on Wednesday. But I was content with the midfield. They moved the ball well. Lambert had great possession. He could just – it was kind of funny at times because Lambert is such a big, tall guy, and the Colorado midfield was really small guys. So he just towers over them. But I like them. Quinn, Lambert, Seijas, they were great. But I could also see Arturo for Seijas maybe in the next game if he's a little bit more fit. So what do you think? I think it's the midfield you'd have picked. I don't think anyone would really look at who they've got available and say they picked something else today. I feel like Lambert having him back in the squad was massive today. Aiden, of course, did a good job. And yes, Seijas had a few chances. Not his best game overall, but you don't get that every game.
But sometimes you don't need him to do that. You don't need him to score, especially now that you have JJ Williams. If he can maintain possession in the midfield, fight for those balls in there, get some turnovers going, and also provide, spread the balls out to the wingers, I think that's fine. You don't need him to, burden him, I guess, with the scoring necessities, like they did in a few games early in the season. So now that if the forwards can get going, you kind of take that pressure off from Seijas for him to do anything as far as goal scoring, but he can bring a lot still offensively.
Absolutely he can. So is that just about our analysis of the game to a close? I feel.
Do I got to step out?
I might be about to kick you out, Ramon. We might need to bring in a special guest.
Yeah, I might get the tequila.
Can you pop that microphone down? We're gonna have someone come and join us now in a second.
Time in.
We'd like to shout out the man truly responsible for tonight's result because he's wearing a tie. He's here and he's wearing a tie.
Yes, I'm here.
So, Jake, what was it like being back here for once?
Well, the first half was interesting with the rain and the winds and just the shots that they were sending. I mean, Farrell's shot from where I was standing behind the goal, 100% went in my opinion. We just looked at the replay. Again, it's the camera angles that we have, so it's not like 100% definitive. But from what I saw from the angles, you can see it 100% went in. But this was a performance I was not expecting at all. I don't think anyone was expecting it to be just this complete. I mean, switchbacks looked like a shell of what we've seen throughout the year, and Rising has looked like nothing like this. I mean, we even talked to Rick about it. Is this the best performance of the season? And obviously you think back to Monterey to open the year, but it's just two totally different levels of competition when we're talking about Monterey Bay and Colorado Springs.
Yeah, absolutely. You're getting a lot of love in the chat here, Jake. You are Emma here with wow. I get to see Jake twice in one day. Blessed.
Oh yeah, I saw that earlier.
Mon saying love you, Jake. We've got Kieran with the return of the tie.
Mon sent me a personal voice message. Where was your personal voice message?
I see Mon every week.
I don't, and she still sent me a voice message.
Right. Well, the key thing here, Jake, is we've established that when you come here this month, they've won. Whenever you haven't been here this month, they've lost. So you're coming to the next game, aren't you?
August 6th. I got to look at my schedule. I don't know. Actually, I'm at Cardinals, so actually there is a chance I'll be here. Depends on
Who cares about the Cardinals? Real football is right behind you on that pitch.
If
You see that pitch there, that's football, not that other stuff.
But in all seriousness, they do need to pick up points in the next matches that they have, because if they can get 4 points, or they're 4 points right now behind Las Vegas, if they can get that win, obviously they're 1 point back, and that's the 7th and final playoff spot. And honestly, for as bad as they've been these last 2 months, it's still there for the taking with a team that, with a couple new additions, they look like they could be dangerous. And who knows, maybe they pulled an OC from last year.
You think they could?
If they play like this, yeah, 100%. If they can keep up this clean sheet streak, obviously Ben Luton has been playing out of his mind all season long. I've been saying that he's my MVP of the year, all year. Things definitely could have been worse. We look at some of the matches that, like Oakland, that should have been a loss, in all honesty. But you look at Sacramento last week, that should have been a win. So it kind of goes back and forth. But if you can keep up this defensive performance and that attacking prowess, it's rising of old.
It did. It did look a little bit like that today, didn't it?
It was refreshing. You could just sense like everyone just had a resurgence of just how they felt. It's kind of been depressing the last couple of months. 0-0 is great, but it took 3 matches to get the same amount of points as they got tonight.
Mm-hmm. And Jake, before you leave, I need to ask you: can you just give us your views on SS Lazio?
Vaffanculo Lazio. How's that?
That'll do. So, Jake, you're staying here, right? We're not letting you leave, because if you leave, then you won't be here next weekend for the game. So
I actually think I might be. I gotta check.
I'm hearing that you're staying here in this press box. You're not being allowed to leave. So, thank you for your time. Go hide in the corner. You're not allowed to leave. Now, go.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time.
Always love being on.
We're gonna bring Ramon back in now. Yeah, so Ramon has been in the while I was chatting there, while I was chatting there with Jake, Ramon was in the back there just necking a bottle of tequila.
Would you say necking?
Necking, yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard that
absolutely.
We'll
I'm
see.
teaching you words now.
I know. I'm learning. I just learned what a switchback was yesterday. So
it's the vocabulary team. This one.
There you go. There you go.
Really learning a lot.
Reese was making fun of me, so I didn't like that, because he called me a summer school teacher or something like that. But anyway, but yeah, great to see Jake here on the show and here at the stadium. But yeah, back to business. So, great win tonight. We talked about how July was going to be a make or break month. How are you feeling? This closes up July. Only one loss technically, so against Memphis, or so.
The month wasn't good enough.
Yeah,
the month wasn't good enough, and we have to be clear about that. The only thing that gives a bit of hope now is the fact that JJ Williams could be a difference maker in this team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel as though the team, without him, I'd be feeling positive coming in now. With him, maybe you've got a different thing to look at here. Hey, who knows? It's still close enough. It's still doable.
Yeah.
But they've really got to be careful now going forward, because those games where, you could drop points,
mm-hmm.
You can't drop points anymore. From here on out, it has to be better. It has to be them looking like a playoff caliber team week in, week out. Because right now, while it is entirely doable that they make it to the playoffs, there is not margin for error.
Yep.
That's the most negative we're going to be now.
Yep,
sure.
Exactly. And now looking at the standings today, one of the only teams in front of Rising that got a W today was Sacramento Republic, who've been on an absolute tear this week. El Paso lost a close one, I believe, to Louisville. Las Vegas drew Galaxy, Root. So with this victory, Rising 28 points, 4 points away now from the 7th and final spot, which is Las Vegas, who they face here next week. So that's going to be a very important game. They've lost twice to them this season. I'm sure Rising's going to want revenge.
Of course they're going to want revenge. It's Vegas. Now, maybe Vegas will do whatever Vegas do. Maybe they're going to show up here and they'll brought their pre-match camel along. You see that? The picture of the pre-match camel from, I think it was Wednesday's game? They're playing San Antonio. Yeah, I saw the picture. They had a camel on the pitch before the game.
Jeez.
I don't know why, but they had a camel.
Where are they getting this stuff?
Yeah, Vegas lights. Woo. Look, of course, Rising want revenge. They've been 2 games where they shouldn't, frankly, have lost them in the way that they did.
Mm-hmm.
And yet they did. So, look, they've got a good chance, I think, of trying to carry momentum from this game forward. But that's the key thing, right? This game, can't get complacent after this one. It was a big win, but that is far from the job being done.
Yep.
They need to carry the momentum from this game forward, and that is the challenge now. Take this momentum, take it into next week, and you got to look for the 3 points again.
Yeah, 12 games left in the season. It's gonna be they're facing teams that are either near them in the standings or on top of them. So it's gonna be interesting. Lights. After that, it's gonna be Orange County traveling over there, El Paso, RGV, and then again at the beginning of September, Colorado. So these are all important games. Just because they won tonight, they scored 4 goals, doesn't mean they let their foot off the gas, because they need to continue getting these victories. Draws are not enough. Not 0-0, 1-1, 2-2, it doesn't matter. They need to get these W's. They need to continue to climb up the charts in the Western Conference. And, from what I saw tonight, they can do it. The defense is working well. J.J. Williams and the rest of the crew tonight, they did the job. So it's a matter of continuing to do it now.
Indeed. Look, it's just got to push on.
All right, y'all, let's take a quick break and talk about our friends at DraftKings. If you guys haven't, make sure to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. And when you do, make sure to use promo code PHNX, and you can make your first deposit and get a risk-free bet up to $1,000. That's promo code PHNX, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See the show notes for more details. Yeah, shout out to DraftKings. You guys could have made some money today if we put some money on the Rising. Could have gone home happy.
Could have done.
Or happier, I should say.
Happier, yeah. That would be the case.
All right, Owen. Yeah, great win tonight. I'm not as tense as I usually am with these somber Saturdays that we used to have. And how Jake was saying, like, all this negativity, you kind of like don't even know what to do now, because they got this
won.
W.
They won a game.
They got this W, and I'm just like, it's been a very long time. So no, I'm ready to celebrate. But after tonight, it's on to the next game.
Ready to get a hose and really rinse off my shoes.
Yeah, I brought my Nikes today.
And put a lot of my it's covered in mud. Even up my trousers, it's going up there. It's just mud, because all of that water out there was ugh. But hey, it's a win.
Let's take a look at the chat here. Bonnie, sorry I missed the game tonight. Watched it on TV, but not as same as being there in person to see you guys win. That's true. Well, shout out to Bonnie. Hopefully next week we'll see you here. Yeah, the weather was not helping out a lot. When I was driving over here, not too good with the rain. Let's see. It was well at night against Vegas, says Scott Summers. Jake is not going to be able to make it. Wow. He just put it on the chat. Said he'll try. Says he'll try his best.
Jake. No. Back here.
So if they lose,
Back here. Come on.
He's trying to do his job on Twitter.
Just come kneel down by Ramon so we can see you in the shot. There we go. We've got you. Jake, answer to the people out there. Why are you going to miss this next game?
Arizona State football has an open house from 5 to 6:30 p.m. So I said no guarantees. I will try my best.
We'll try, Owen.
I'll be in Tempe.
It's excuses. Ask for their forgiveness. Ask for the people's forgiveness. You're going to be responsible if they lose next week.
See the 3 points tonight?
Yeah, but if they lose next week, it's your fault.
Just leave the tie hanging here.
Leave the tie.
I like this tie.
Leave it. It's a lucky tie. It's got to stay here.
Maybe.
The chat, vote on this. Tell him to leave it.
We can make a voting thing, right? Thank you, Jake. Appreciate
See you guys. Thank you, guys.
Oh, man. Yeah, great stuff here. Yeah, it's time to celebrate. If you guys haven't yet, make sure to crack open those Four Peaks beer that you have over there in your fridge. We know Owen's going to do that when he gets home. So
here we go. D Gully in the chat. JJ was immense. Leave the tie.
Hashtag leave the tie.
BJ Blinson, leave the tie.
Someone's saying
Kieran
Owen
Thompson
should
saying
wear it.
I should wear it. Seymour and 8 saying leave it. You're being told, Jake.
As a headband.
You've been given an instruction. Listen to the will of the people. Leave the tie.
That's the hashtag for this week. Last week was what was it? Energy Vampire. This one's leave the tie.
Now it's leave the tie. Yeah. We're getting it. Okay.
All right. Any final thoughts, Owen? How you feeling?
Like I'm gonna go home and have some Four Peaks.
It was great. The rain did bother me when I first got here, but it was really fun and create a good atmosphere during the game. So I'm really happy they got the W. Feel really good for the players. I'm sure this is massive for them, and they're going to be able to put in the work this week and get ready for Vegas. Should be a good time.
In a week's time.
All right. Let's see. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us. yeah, we've been here for a few months now, so appreciate everybody just hanging on and when we get the W's, being ready to party on with us here. All right, that's pretty much it from us, right, Owen?
Pretty much it from here at Waldo's Pass.
All right, y'all. If you haven't yet, make sure to follow us at PHNX__rising.
We can say it. Double the underscores, double the fun. We can say it today. It's
Oh,
not
man.
negative day.
It was weird to hear. I'm like, yeah, I haven't heard that in a
We
minute.
haven't done that in a while.
All right, y'all. Appreciate you for tuning in. We'll be back on Tuesday. Have a great show for you guys there. Get you some updates on what's going on with the team. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you on the next show. Take care.